feel-free syndrome had. The name feel-free came from the idea of the founder that think the parents need some time for their own and can feel free bring their children to enjoy at our place while the parents do their things or works without worry. Feel-free Nursery was founded by Mr. Azwan in March 2020. Mr. Azwan always has dreaming about to build this nursery business because he's always wonder how parents can feel easy when they want to do something or going to shopping without the busy hand for them to handle their kids and children. Feel-free Nursery are focusing on open business in the mall, which is stating the parents can have their shopping without their children and will be more easy for the parents. They started a business in the Iontebro Mall Johor Bahru and they plan to open more branches soon on the Shah Alam. The founder of the business is Mr. Azwan, which is stay at the Johor Bahru and think Johor Bahru is the best place for him to start the business and easy for him to handle the business. Feel-free Nursery has grown rapidly than Mr. Azwan expected. On the first branch, he's starting to hire 6 workers to help him in the operation business. The worker will do their task to taking care of the children while their parents is doing their shoppings. Feel-free Nursery is the place where the parents can put their trust on the workers because the workers that they hire are educated and professional in taking care of the children. The operation hour of this business will follow by the law of the mall. Normally, the nursery will be open at 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. Feel-free Nursery will provide some activity for the children such as coloring, movie time, or playing at the kindergarten.
Next is vision of Feel-free Nursery is to be one of the leading nursery companies in Malaysia, admired for its brand, innovation and result to a better and sustainable world. For the mission for Feel-free Nursery is to be a part of people's lives by offering the assistance to take care of your child with quality, innovation and affordable price anywhere in Malaysia. And for value, Feel-free Nursery integrity, focus on customer, commitment, quality work, innovation and high performance.
Stakeholder may be within, inside or outside the organization. In the other way, they are really interested in the project and its procedure. Usually, stakeholder will impact everything and everyone within a project or a company. There are 2 types of stakeholder, which is internal stakeholder and external stakeholder. So who is the internal stakeholder? Someone that already exists inside the company business. For external stakeholder, someone that interested in the business or the project but do not have direct affiliations with the organization, as an example, supplier. These are all the listed of key stakeholder. First is owner, employee, suppliers, investor, community, government, customer, media, creditors and trade union. Based on the above, stakeholders are very important as they will impact the business growth to the success. Stakeholders provide realistic and financial help to your company. Stakeholders are important people in your company, from staff to loyal clients and investors.
Assalamualaikum to Hazmal. My name is Izian. I'm going to explain about the environmental assessment. There is 6 points in the environmental assessment, which is legal, economic, political, environmental, technological, and social. Firstly, we're going to move to the political. Feel-free is the child care business that is regulated under the Child Care Centre Act in the 1984. Feel-free need to handle the kids followed by the rules that have been set up by the government. It is required for the Child Care Centre to be registered with the Department of Social Welfare, or we are most commonly used and known as the Jabatan Kebajikan Malaysia, we call as the JKM. Economic. As the recent economic downturn that have effect in this economy, companies had to build the strategy structure of their sales and marketing campaigns greatly. In this economic nowadays, there is a lot of parents that need to send their child while they have some work to do. So, feel free, build this businesses because of the potential of this business to grow up in the economic for the future can be happen due to a lot of parents nowadays have a good career and decided want to work. Social factor greatly impact in feel free business. It is because it was the nursery business has to remain in line with the strict and stop different of unique activity to compete competitor. For the feel free business, we will put the price in the middle, which is it is not too cheap, either it is not too expensive. Feel free is focused of the business to the family which is have the child, because most of the customer is come from the family that want to send their child to our nursery because they have some work to do. Next is technological. Feel free is in a good position to enjoy the benefit of mobile wave. It have a collaboration with the Touch and Go e-wallet for a discount or coupon that help the customer to pay using the apps without worry being cashless. To be on the trend, Feel Free also have our own social media, which is for example Instagram and Facebook. The company also provide the Wi-Fi capabilities in the shop for their usage and for the customer who want to connect with our Wi-Fi. The threat of the new entrant. The threat of the new entrants can be considered as a middle. It is due to the investment to build the nursery business is quite big. There is a lot of things to consider before they can open this business industry. Feel Free will use this opportunity in order to attract their customers for using their service based on the license that the company have got. Feel Free also use the good strategy to compete their competitor, which is one of the strategies to provide a good activity for the kids. Bargaining power of buyer. Bargaining power of buyer in the Feel Free is low. Feel Free can gain their customer more is because of their service is unique and not often to be found. By having these opportunities, Feel Free company will gain the loyalty from their customer. Feel Free also provide the discount season to ensure their customer will be happy invest their money to our business with a small budget. Bargaining power of supply. When looking at the major input that Feel Free company needs, we see that we are especially depending on the experienced worker and the equipment for doing the activities to control the kids. These input, however, are very much affected by the external environment over which the Feel Free company have a little control. But for the equipment such as the furniture, there is variety of the supplier that can supply the product. Because of the broad aggregate stock, manufacturer negotiate leverage is further reduced. Threat of the substitute. In this case, Feel Free don't have a lot of substitute due to the unique of the service that the company provide. It was very rare to find the nursery open in the shopping mall. So, it was a very big opportunities for the Feel Free company to gain a lot of customer due to the no other substitute or there is rare to find the other substitute. The higher of the price, the bigger potential for the customer to find the substitute. Rivalry among existing competitor. When looking at the nursery industry in the Malaysia, we see that the industry is highly competitive with the variety of reason. Feel Free have a lot of competitor in the different size, but the Feel Free company have their own strength, which is the nursery is located on the shopping mall and it was a very unique and very rare to be found. Next, I'm going to explain about the future trends. During this COVID-19 that hit the world, Malaysia also became one of the countries most severely affected. Feel Free does not run away from the losses because of the business need to be closed temporarily and need to be opened according to the time set by the government. For the external factor, we choose a technological influences. Since our service using a lot of physical touch, we can reduce the physical touch by making an application for the customer to pay using the application. Feel Free also create an application for the customer to survey about the price at the online. During this COVID-19, Feel Free try to avoid any crowded situation happen, but in the same time, we try to gain more customer for our sale. Then, Feel Free will recommend our customer to book the place first to avoid the crowded, and will make it more easy for the Feel Free predict the number of customer during that day. Lastly, for the fourth spotter, we choose by gaining power of the customer. The reason why we choose this is because of the customer is a very important person in the business. Customer is the source of the income and our sales. By having any complaint or feedback, we can improve our business and know the weakness of this business. Feel Free will always improve our service in order to win the customer heart every time they're using our service, and we'll make sure the customer to come back to use our service.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Azrin and I will be presenting our rubric 3, which is competitive set. In this industry, there are a few established competitors that are well known in this kids and nursery business. They are Primrose Hill Active Learning, Idris Elite Preschool and Learning Center, and the Parenthood. For Primrose Hill Active Learning, they are offer several activities, including studio, which is innovative playground, mini clinic, and family friends cafe, and they accept 3 to 6 months each. And they also located at Avenue K Shopping Mall. Idris Elite is the first company-owned division group to work in a mall. They offer a variety of programming for children, and they are located in the Gardens Mall Mid Valley. The Parenthood is alternative to both your children and parental needs. They accept 2 to 6 years old children, and they are at the Sunway Pyramid West Mall. To starting a business at a young age may be challenging. The resource define the most important order to improve business successful. Here are the few resource category, which is financial resource, educational resource, human resource, physical resource, and emotional resource. From all of the listed above, we have chosen 2, which is financial resource and human resource. For financial resource, it is important because it is the most critical factor to develop a company. And for human resource, as we know, if we want to have a good staff and a good organization, we need to have a good human resource department. Strength of 5 resources categories with each competitors. These are the financial resources for each competitors. Feel Free Nursery. This company get funding from loan bank. For Primrose Hill Active Learning Center, this company has been operated for 5 to 6 years. They get funding from the profit they make each year. For Idris Elite Preschool and Enrichment Center, this school has been operated since 1987 until now, so they get supported funding from headquarters and their profit each year. The Parenthood. This company had funding from loan bank and owner saving. Educational resource for each competitors. Feel Free Nursery. They are using certified syllabus and indoor and outdoor activities. For Primrose Hill Learning Center, they affiliate with the Scandinavian Forest School and EFSA UK, incorporating both in the Cambridge primary curriculum and the Scandinavian Active Learning curriculum. For Idris Elite Preschool and Enrichment Center, they integrated thematic approach in education. For the parenthood, they're using early years foundation stage through the advancement of reading, mathematics, global awareness, and the creative arts and design capabilities. These are the physical resources for each competitors. For Feel-Free Nursery, they plan to open in mall where parents can drop their children while they're going for shopping. For Primrose Hill, they have 3 outlets, which is in Avenue K Mall, Intermark Mall, and Gymnasium. For Idris Elite Preschool, they have almost 62 outlets around Malaysia, but they open one at the Garden Mall. For the parenthood, they have all their outlets in the mall, included at Sunway Pyramid Shopping Mall, Sunway Putra Mall, Maitao Shopping Center, and Topen Shopping Center in Johor Bahru. Human resource for each competitors. An organization's success relies greatly on the employee skills and strength. For Feel-Free Nursery, their human resource department will surely hire professional staff. For Primrose Hill Active Learning, they are recruiting qualified personnel with outstanding track record within their area of specializations. They will be hiring a teacher that have been teaching for at least 3 years, but fresh graduates are welcome. For Idris Elite Preschool, they have a variety of approach allow good team members to be recruited. They only will be hire an experienced teacher at least for 1 year and new school teacher that willing to learn new things every day. At the parenthood, their qualification is standard because they have a few areas with different background. So for staff of schooling, they need an experienced teachers. For playground, they look for someone loving and cheerful. For emotional resources, it seems like all these competitors have the same supporter, which is friends and family, their staff, their student, their continuous customer, and their friends.
The main factor or task that to ensure the sustainability of your company is the CSF, which is Critical Success Factor. The concept was first used in the yield of data analysis and market analysis. It is listed to 8 categories and it may be differ to your company or another company. It is based on the needs of your company itself. So here are the 8 critical success factors for our company. First is marketing, second is customer service, customer loyalty, management competency, brand reputation, location, pricing competitiveness, and technological competency. From all of the listed above, we have chosen 2, which is financial resource and human resource. For financial resource, it is important because it is the most critical factor to develop a company. And for human resource, as we know, if we want to have a good staff and a good organization, we need to have a good human resource department.
These are the competitive performance metric CPM for each competitors. According to the competitive performance metric, the highest is Idris Elite Preschool and Enrichment Center. The total score for week is 7 and the highest score is 30. It is because Idris Elite Preschool has the longest periods of operation in the industry for almost 8 years.
Next is advantages and vulnerabilities. So here is competitive advantages. One is highly skilled staff, second is brand image recognition, strategic location, excellent customer service, and new access to technology. Next is 5 most vulnerables of competitions. One is advertising, promotion, pricing, locations, and the last one is equipment and tool use.
Next, I present about the brand portfolio for Feel-Free Nursery. Feel-Free Nursery is a care center of child in the mall, which is in Ayan, Johor. We also provide online business, which is through apps online. Customer can do any reservation and doing payment method. Next is what strange good management. Actually, we as a management have a good management, which is we have a background study of business online, so I thought if enough for us have a good management. Next is strong financial. Actually, we have enough financial from our resources, such as from Aeon. For weakness, we lack of staff. Actually, we are still new business and we still searching for new staff. We also lack of experience, which is regarding to the staff. We are not chosen for the recruit new staff, so maybe they don't have a lot of experience to take care of the child. Next is opportunity trend. Actually, sending child into the nursery is one of the famous trend nowadays. Next, demand of customer. Demand of customer to sending their child in the nursery is high, and that's why we open this feel-free nursery. Last is trade. Competitor for feel-free is playground in the mall, and it was most interesting from nursery. And spread of infection disease. Nowadays we know that COVID-19 is spread around the world, so it was a treat for us, and we can operate the business. Next, corporate level strategy of feel-free corporation. First is business growth strategy. This strategy is how our business to increase our profit. So our strategy is to make a lot of branches around Malaysia, so we can increase our profit. Next is business diversification strategy. This strategy how to business can be well known by the customers. So we improve our marketing through maybe social media, advertisement, and so on. Next is business stability strategy. This strategy is how the business can stable in this industry. So we plan to provide a lot of service, such as not only take care of the child, we also sending our staff to the customer's house to take care of their child. Next is BCG, Boston Consult Group Matrix. Feel free in the column of question mark, which is we are still new business, and we have a opportunity to move in the star, which is in the good column to a business, and online business in the column of cash cow, which is they have a lot of opportunity where they don't have enough of financial, and online business also can support the question mark, can support the feel free to move into the stars. Last is strategy recommendation, which is first is actionable business level strategy. We should increase price of the service, because if we have a high price, so we have a quality service. Next is broad expose. We should expose around the world, or maybe Malaysia, to increase our profit. Next is improving quality service. While we increase our price, so we should increase or improving our quality service. Next, for the actionable corporate level strategy, we should increase our market share. While it will make our company more growth, and maybe can make new branch on overseas. Next, we're creating new service, such as maybe we can send our staff to the customer house. And last is improving marketing, which is we want to make our company is well known and famous in Malaysia and in the world. Thank you.
Inter-organizational partnership have traditionally been understood to be a distinctive way to communicate with two or more organizations, such as that a synergy is established, which enhance the partner's scope and effectiveness. Relevant problems, including the cause of the connection dynamics and the success factors behind their efficiency, were mainly focused on nursery. There are many types of inter-organizations arrangements that allow the small business to take advantage of joint venture, such as partnerships, franchise, and networking associations alliance. Small business may also benefit from establishing a relationships with another organizations. It helps two organizations to operate in a symbiotic partnerships without forcing them to combine into one company. In 2006, research for the Advanced Study Institute recognized into organizational ties as a mean of linking two individual organizations' property so that something of higher importance is accomplished. It's complicated for many parents to run order with children in the two. It is exhausting to walk through the mall with a screaming baby or adoptive child. Childcare partnership provide caregiver and employee with resources. Our mission is to help parents to take good care of their children while they do their errands and shoppings in a mall. Our online childcare search facility, our guide on the operation of quality childcare provider and offering informations. We give local childcare provider a variety assistance, such as including training, quality improvement, business development, networking support, access to funding, and advice and support on a range of issues. Each partner collaborations offer funding for the following areas in particular. First is training and development. Second is strategic funding decisions. Third, communications, policy and information. And lastly, sure start. Anyone who wants to start a small business might try to buying a franchise from a big company. The drawback of acquiring a nationwide franchise is that the company's template and logo already exists. In a way, we are joining an already proven sector without having to lay down too much foundations. However, that does not inherently mean that our own personal touch cannot be applied to the firm. Running kindergarten may be a good way to raise sales. If it is shopping complex for nursery or plan to use other services, you can realize that the work is not very lucrative. It must be balanced expenses since parents are willing to pay a small amount. However, it can be an outstanding career choice if you have love of engaging with the youngster. Our job duties include recruiting of staff, upkeep of buildings, book balance, and the establishment of good public relations with parents and professors, also compliance with legal requirements. In choosing to own a nursery, we need a good relationships and business expertise in order to keep the organization on its right track. Networking Associations Alliance. For small company owners, such useful ways of inter-organizational ties come through the networking of business organizations and partnership with other small business. Networks provide the ability to join a corporate networks with the advantage of resources sharing and peer supports. The first challenge is the regulations of the network. Vertical and horizontal connections to direct the working partnerships can be utilized at the same time. Although hierarchical connections are essential to support the formal framework of the corporations, horizontal connections create informal and interdependent relationships that promote interdependence between partners. Any audit examined with legislations and regulations. Other assess alignment with existing rules and practice of the organizations. A strategy audit let SME determine whether domestic procedures shift the needle and its strategic targets. Management changes operation in order to optimize success against its target depending on audit performance. Why we need functional strategic audit? First is help in operation of business functions. Operational assistance of different organization tasks is offered by functional technique. A financial planner, for instance, has to take decisions about financing options, deploy projects, minimize cost of capital, or buy another business. In addition, it must select proactive operational capital management option that will help to decide on different of the management of receivable, factoring payable, management, inventory strategy, and treasury management. Second is managerial role map. A corporation must have a functional plan for its sector and operations. Functional planning provides considerable detail to the entire corporation's campaign despite of being smaller in nature than business strategy. It aims to develop or enhance particular competence to increase the market positions. The third is help implementation of brand strategy. Functional strategy in important areas such as marketing, finance, manufacturing, R&D, and staff must be developed. Functional strategy promote the realization of the grand plan through the organization and activations of relevant company subunit to execute the business strategy for everyday business operation. Fourth, decisional guides to actions. Functional plans direct and transform the thinking into actions to meet those annual targets. Functional methods also be used as decisive recommendations for action that work. The second last is improve effectiveness and efficiency and create super profitability. Functional method can be acknowledgeable as trying to increase the productivity of the activity of an organization and the potential to achieve superior efficiency, consistency, creativity, and customer response. The type of practical methods: distinctive competence, distinctions, low cost, value generations, and profitable must be taken into consideration. Last, build competitive advantage. Functional technique will increase the efficiency, reliability, and reaction of the service to the customer. They can also be used to create a competitive, sustainable advantage. Functional technique can improve the efficiency and thereby lower the cost structure of operations. For organizational strategy, our founder is Mr. Azwan, while Ms. Azra Nisa is our governance, Izia Nabila our licensing and regulations, and Aini Sophia as staffing. Implementation plan. Planning and execution largely dictates project performance, as the strategic plans are unworkable without it. Implementation is then the necessary step in translating our development goals into action to accomplish our objective. Many examples exist that improve project performance by executions preparations. The Harvard Management Review reported there are 70% higher return for business with an implementation and delivery strategy. The development strategy is our plan for successfully executing our project schedule. This paper outlines the short and long-term goals, list project activity, describe duties, obligations, define budget and funding, and list any theories. Often a project's execution schedule requires a raw timetable, but teams typically identify the complicated timetable for the development plan.